Minute 38 remaining. They lead by 10 points. It's Fremantle's game to lose here. Sandilands the big fist. Oh, look at that field. Somehow, Walters the interchange bench and into his hands. Maybe it's Fremantle's game. Walters is on. Hill keeps going. This to send them into a home preliminary final for the first time in their history.
Juddy, welcome back to episode 2. How are you?
G'day, Monkey. I'm pretty well. A bit wet up here, but pretty well.
Oh yeah, cyclone coming through.
Cyclone Debbie. Debbie does northern Queensland.
Very good. All right, Juddy, weekend. Dockers go down.
Pretty excited leading into it. I think I let myself get ahead of myself again. But yeah, there's plenty to sort of go on about in this game, isn't there?
Certainly is.
Can we start with my ultimate highlight? I reckon it'll be my favourite thing in the year, unless Blythe does something sweet. In the third quarter, or maybe it was just before half time, Sonny Walters, who was having an absolute stinker of a game, decided to get in a fight near the boundary line, and he pushed Tom Ruggles into the crowd.
Yeah.
And hope to see it a bit more. He got fined for it, I think. But that's worth $1,000, isn't it?
That is probably, unfortunately, one of the few highlights. Do you have any positives?
Yeah, I do actually. I thought Ed Langdon showed that even in hard games, he can be valuable. So he was pretty busy and kicked a few goals and stuff like that. Stephen Hill was really good. I think he led for metres gained, like he was running and really penetrating kick and could actually hit a target for a game like that where we barely did hit a target. Spur was good. I don't trust Spur as a player because he's slow and has average skills, and I don't know how he's good, but he's pretty good. And then Brad Hill apparently led us with pressure acts, which is good. Brad Hill will be handy for us, I think.
Stephen Hill, 25 disposals, 19 kicks and a goal. We generally don't perform that poorly when he plays that well. Brad Hill, 1 goal, 17 disposals. Fife, 1 goal, 28. They're all good numbers from the midfield.
But to be honest, the stat line was absolutely crazy. So if you were to just look at the stats and not the score, you'd go, geez, this is either a close game or the Dockers are dominating it.
Great to see Johnson back, unfortunately. Not at his best.
Oh, it was very un-Johnson-like and passing to no one when he got that free kick in the centre of the ground, and suddenly we're all forward the ball and they just waltz into goal. But interested, the stats line would look at those stats and go, okay, we just need to not turn the ball over in bad areas. Seems to be the negative. We won clearances. We were dominating the midfield. If you look at clearances, stoppage clearances, all those sort of stats. So weirdly, we looked like we played poxy footy, but in weird key areas we dominated.
We did, but it was a disappointing day for our forwards. I just don't like how Walters, he seems to get caught in the trap of being the big marking, like he tries too hard to be.
Absolutely guts me and makes me so angry when, it'll be Sandilands and Kirsten in a marking contest with like a 2-on-2, and you see Walters fly and dig a knee into someone, and then the ball hits the deck and Walters' opponent runs off with it. It's like, mate, you're a small forward. You're a roving forward.
So next week we go play Port Adelaide, which you called an average team. After the weekend, you've probably changed your mind.
Oh, yeah, good Lord.
It's a bad thing about recording everything you say, Juddy.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, actually. Unlike half of the AFL media who say 200 things at the start of the year, and when one comes right at the end, they say how right they were. I tend to go with the Whitey machine gun approach to say heaps of shit as well. But no, it didn't. Well, I thought Sydney were going to be unstoppable, and they were stopped very, convincingly, given it was wet. But I don't know how they lost that, and it was. They were either caught napping, they thought they were too good, or Port are the real deal. I'm not too sure which way it goes yet. We'll wait and see this week. I reckon Port are primed for picking because they're going to come in hot.
Yep.
Or thinking they're hot. And as long as we could catch them napping, basically.
So, predictions for this week?
I'm hoping that we can get I wouldn't bet on us. Actually, no. If the odds are good enough, I would. I'd say we're probably I think I said 30 points last week and we lost by 42. I'd say 20 to 30 loss.
Yeah, I think this week there's going to be a lot of senior players showing up to play, and if they don't, it's going to be a sad start to the season with only a grim look ahead. There's going to be a lot of people a lot of the mature guys who are going to come out and have big games, you'd hope. I mean, Port Adelaide aren't going to be as clinical on the turnover as Geelong were. Like, we got punished on our turnovers. A lot of them were in our back half. But I don't think Port Adelaide will be that clinical. It's early on in the season. These games do happen. I think it's going to be closer, you'd hope. But we just need to not let a 20-minute period of bad football turn into a 7-goal deficit. Looking around the AFL, favourite injury from the week, Juddy?
Oh, mate. How good are the injuries at the moment? So, Jordan Goey's dog / punching some guy at 21st. And now we've got Dane Rampy, sorry. I've just done a tronic there. Dane Rampy, who has, after a recovery jog the day after the game that we were just talking about so much versus Port, tries to jump over a chain in a car park, stacks it, which would have been pretty funny, and breaks his arm or something like that. What's it, silver? And apparently John Longmire, I was reading an article, was saying, I didn't believe it. Like, apparently someone saw it happen, which is pretty lucky. But, I guess it was in the morning. It wasn't like it was, 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. And
recovery session.
Rampy Longmire saying, oh, mate, I just tripped over a chain.
It's so good watching the games first off, watching Drew Petrie run around for the Eagles. It looks like he's just got confused when he got dressed and he's just put on the wrong jersey.
Because he's one you just associate with a North Melbourne jersey, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, because you haven't seen a game yet and you're not used to it, I'm sure when Sam Mitchell plays Hawthorn, it'll be, you've seen, I've watched a game now with Mitchell, so it's not as funny, but first game, it just looks like Drew Petrie's I don't know.
That was quick almost that Petrie ended up going there. And then what about, Kirsten was weird wearing the Dockers Guernsey as well?
Yeah, with his haircut as well.
It was looking at, his haircut. What about that fade?
Oh, I keep telling you, these blokes need to shave their heads so they can be more likeable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, imagine if he didn't look like an absolute cock. People probably wouldn't be writing him so much about stinking his first game for
Someone who's going to graffiti a train on the way home.
Or the guy with big glass Barbies in Rockingham. Although we're not far from Rockingham now that we're in Coburn or wherever we are.
Anyway, speaking of diminishing Eagle stocks, Cousins away for a year. Do you think they will bring out a jailhouse team similar to the one they had in Roebourne?
Oh, I hope so. I don't know how good Cousins would be these days, mate. He looks pretty cooked.
He seems to be awfully fat for someone
that's on meth.
Yeah, and stalking. So he must be out a lot.
He gets a lot of exercise, a lot of walker size.
All right, let's move on to our fantasy game. We don't have a lot to report on in the way of points this week, Juddy.
We have a lot to report on, but none of them scores.
No. So most of the country league football, some teams had scratch matches, so they're still in pre-season. So, it's still good that they're warming up, but there's nothing to get points off. It was good for me though to check up on my team and players because I found some had better websites than others.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about the country leagues, but NEFL do stats, so you can always get NEFL stats, and I think all the VFL ones would get that.
Man, the Aaron Davey, I forgot what team Aaron Davey coaches for, sorry. He doesn't actually play, he coaches. Their website had heaps of photos from the scratch match, and then it was like, here's all my photos. Not going to write a report for the game though, but there's just heaps of photos of real bad country football, but you don't know what happened in the game and you don't know the score.
Well, I was trying to look up Wojcinski stats and all these sort of things, and couldn't find anything. And then I think their first game's not until Easter, for 2 or 3 weeks. So we're going to have to time this a bit better. So And the other one was Big Barry Halls coming to Labrador, so near me in the Quaffle. So if I was playing, well, I could play against Barry Hall this year if I went to a Quaffle team, which would be mental. But he won't play that many games.
Well, I mean, we'd have to make specific rules because you wouldn't be able to bet on that. No, I don't know if... Well, you could go out there and just knock him out, and then I'll get no points.
But I would go knock Barry Hall out, would I?
You'd go Brent Staker on him.
Classic Brent Staker, and I would be Brent Staker.
And who's the choker hold? You just choker hold him.
Interestingly, Brent Staker was playing in the Quaffle last year.
So you can't...
Imagine they lined him up. I forget what club he was playing for. One of the Brisbane ones, Wilston Grange or something like that, or Western Magpies. So if Brent Staker might have retired, but if he was still playing, he legitimately could play on Barry Hall. That would be the funniest thing ever.
Okay, well, running through my players, Kepler Bradley, pretty sure he's not playing. Yeah, he's something to do with Claremont. Aaron Davey. Aaron Davey.
I'm pretty sure I made this very apparent to you last week.
You did, but I still locked it in. Aaron Davey is also a coach. However, his brother Alwyn plays for the team he coaches. And Brendan Favola has a morning breakfast radio show.
Well, how many goals was he kicking that?
Well, I did read on his Wikipedia page, though, that he set a record. He kicked 18 goals in a game. He drew the largest crowd on record for this country league and kicked 18 goals.
Now, before we move on to a few other things, I heard you've heard a few rumours about Fifey, about whether he'll stay or go.
I don't know if I've got a good rumour for him going, but I'm definitely saying he's going after Jono Griffin spoiled him. I don't think he's staying after that. I think it was surprising that he did not pack his bags then and there.
So Griffin has spoiled the party for us, as they say.
I mean, it was like he turned and was like, Ross, you promised things wouldn't be like this.
Yeah, he turned and spoke to Ross. Direct contact.
Go straight on the phone and he said, you promised me they wouldn't spoil me. They wouldn't ruin my Brownlow.
Well, mate, funny you should say that because I'm certain he's staying because, I heard that quite recently he took his boat out to Rottnest and anchored out there. So, he's dropped the anchor and he'll be keeping the anchor.